Good day, everyone. I am Celestine May Arcaliwan, and I'm going to continue the discussion about the present challenges of global governance in the 21st century. So, first, what is global governance? Global governance is understood as the way in which global affairs are managed. As there is no global government, global governance typically involves a range of actors, including states, as well as regional and international organizations. Global governance broad purpose is to deliver public goods such as peace and security, dispute resolution, and functional markets, while advocating for better representation in institutions such as the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and the UN Security Council. The governments of China, India, Brazil, and other emerging economies have started to develop and maintain alternative institutions for economic and political collaboration. The Asian Infrastructure Investment Fund and the New Development Bank are products of these efforts. The Asian Infrastructure Investment Fund is a development bank that aims to improve economic and social outcomes in Asia. Also, the New Development Bank aims to mobilize resources for development projects in BRICS, emerging economies and developing countries. BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and other so-called rising powers. While rising powers' behaviors are shaped by the structural features of global capitalism, the differing countries of BRICS state-society relations provide the foundation for conflicts with Western powers over the most liberal aspects of global governance. Global capitalism can be described as neoliberal globalization. The neoliberal globalization is the dominant form of globalization. And also the BRICS can be understood as integrated state capitalist. The proliferation of sovereign wealth funds and national development banks in BRICS challenge an autonomous status private capital in current global economic affairs. Autonomous is having the right or power of self-government. Those developments have led to the conclusion by some scholars that the most liberal features of global governance order are being contested by rising powers. In addition, a small group of big and influential countries such as India and China gain more negotiating power. As their non-participation in international treaties and policies, for example, climate change, might substantially diminish the effects of other countries' efforts to solve these global issues. Climate change is one of the biggest global issues. Also, the poverty, hunger, and food security. Economic and political inequality have long-lasting implications for governance both within and between states. In economic inequality, it is an equal distribution of income and opportunity between different groups in society. Almost all countries around the world and often people are trapped in poverty. One of the causes of economic inequality is the globalization. Economic inequality has two types. It is the wealth inequality and the income inequality. Ang wealth inequality measures how a small group of people in the world own most of the world's stuff. This stuff can be everything from homes and to financial assets. The income inequality looks how big the differences in what people get paid are in the economy. Income can mean wages, but also the earnings people make from owning shares, rent, and profits. The political inequality is the unequal influence over decisions made by political bodies. Inequality in either form contributes to a rise in extremism and social unrest, and it also raises the questions of what responsibility the international community should bear for human development beyond just satisfying basic needs, that is, security, food, and shelter. Prioritizes the goal to end poverty in all its forms everywhere. Questions still remain about exactly who will fund this eradication of poverty and which actions are best suited to this fight. Global governance actors, for example, focus more on intervention measures in poor countries as they are primarily guided by a narrow understanding of security rather than thinking of more long-term development issues or the everyday insecurities experienced by individuals in different parts of the world. A huge diversification of financial sources of development aid complicates the task of applying a common framework based on individuals' needs and development interest approach. So, in addition, the supply of developmental resources, including official development assistance, is also moving away from the old north towards the BRICS. So, the South Korea and Turkey, plus private foundations like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundations, faith-based organization, remittances from diasporas, so they are the new official donors. So a plethora of exchange-traded funds as well as novel sources of finance such as taxes on carbon emissions and financial transactions and so forth. The observed changes in the socio-economic and political aspects of the current world pose new questions and create new challenges for previously active participants of global policy processes as well as for new actors of global governance. So, global governance actors will need to critically reflect on the relevance of earlier policy tools to rapidly changing conditions in the current world. That's all of my report. Thank you for listening. God bless.